Spirion's integration with Microsoft Purview Information Protection, or MPIP, starts with authenticating to the Spirion console using a service account authorized to access labels in Purview. You can confirm that the account has proper authorization by logging into Microsoft's compliance portal and checking if a list populates when navigating to sensitivity labels under the Information Protection menu. It can take up to 24 hours for these labels to synchronize with the Spirion console, but after doing so, they are available for use in Sensitive Data Manager workflows and Sensitive Data Platform playbooks. The example for today's walkthrough in SDP uses Spirion's accuracy to identify sensitive data and its playbook automation to then control the application of MPIP labels. The logic here is anchored around whether a file location contains sensitive PII, such as credit card or social security numbers, or if it contains standard PII like personal addresses, phone numbers, and so on. For this example, we'll be applying two types of information protection labels. The first is a sensitivity label that is embedded as metadata for file locations that do not contain social security numbers or credit card numbers. This is very helpful for DLP orchestration, where the outcomes of Spirion's data discovery and Microsoft's classification informs data in motion solutions. As a result, downstream DLP solutions can focus on data in motion prevention controls because an understanding of what locations contain sensitive data has already been established at rest. The second is a protection label that uses Microsoft rights management to encrypt sensitive PII so it cannot be accessed by unauthorized users. Along with the Microsoft labels, we also apply a Spirion classification to create a visual indicator of the file's sensitivity and promote the proper awareness when interacting with these files. Next, we'll run two scans configured to apply this playbook logic against some sample data, first on a local file system and then in Google Drive. As the local scan concludes, we'll see files are given either the Spirion orange icon as an overlay for locations that contain non-sensitive PII, a Microsoft applied wrapper for encrypted files that do not support encryption natively, or, once again, a Spirion applied red icon for the PDF since its rights management access does not require a wrapper. We can also confirm that the classification information is embedded as persistent metadata for both Spirion and Microsoft labels. This means these files are ready for downstream DLP controls. As expected, the encrypted files cannot be accessed unless an authorized user authenticates through Microsoft. Moving to the Google Drive scan, we will see a similar situation at first, where files are initially without any sort of encryption or classification method applied to them. As the scan completes, files are encrypted or labeled for the same playbook logic we saw in the local file system, with persistent classification and encryption applied to each location where relevant in such a way that it will follow the file should it happen to be downloaded from the cloud to a local file system. Just as before, both the Spirion and Microsoft metadata can be confirmed, and access to encrypted files is prohibited unless the user authenticates through Microsoft using the rights management encryption. Today's walkthrough integrated Microsoft Information Protection labels with Spirion's automation to scan both local workstations and cloud storage. These actions can be applied to any sort of policy operationalized with SDP's playbooks to make sure that MPIP capabilities are enforced accurately and consistently beyond what resides in Azure. Thank you for following along, and we will now spend the rest of our time answering any questions about this integration.